Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold your breath.
1, 2, 3. When you can't hold it any longer,
Slowly exhale the air. Did you feel the Maas River seeping into your lungs?
with your eyes still closed, visualize the route to get here. Where did you start? What stands out? What did you forget? What caught your attention? Where did the river start?
What is a river? Is it the water that flows from mountains to oceans? Is it the aquifers beneath our feet? Is it the moisture of the soil? Is it the clouds above our heads? Is it the rain or the morning dew? Is it a line on the map? Open your eyes and find the eyes of someone close to you. Get closer. Look at them in the eye. Don't break contact. Then, if you feel comfortable, hold each other's hands.
If my mind was empty enough, I could see it. The membrane that holds the water together, prevents it from becoming damp, becoming cloud. I move my hand through the membrane. It's so thin, it doesn't feel like I'm breaking something. The water remains whole, but I see my hand broken. When they say the water is coming, this is how it goes. It flows over the threshold, into your home, seeks the riverbed, in your hands.
Let go of the other person's hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Walk towards the river shore. If you feel comfortable enough, take your shoes off. Walk towards the river and put your feet in.
What is heavier, your body or the water?
Look in front of you. Was this shoreline always here? Was it dredged to prevent floods? Or to use the gravel to build Maastricht? Is a city a dislocated river? Look to your right. You'll see the entrance to the Albert Canal, built between 1930 and 1939 by Belgium to gain an independent exit to the ocean at Antwerp without having to cross into Dutch territory. 130 kilometers of artificial river made for trade and war. Look to your left. You'll see the industrial remains of the NC Quarries river port, where all the minerals extracted between 1918 and 2018 were loaded onto ships. When does the environment stop and the subject begin?
At the end of the 19th century, a French journalist named Albert Meirac traveled from village to village in the French and Belgian Ardennes, interviewing village elders and putting an oral tradition on paper. Opposite him, in a creaking rocking chair, sits the friendly, somewhat hard-hearing widow Bébert Hiaya, one of the interviewees he mentions in his book. The widow says, speaking in the regional language of Walloon, "A vicious amphibious animal lives at the bottom of the Meuse. In our region we call him the Mahuot. The Mahuot walks across the riverbed, from one side of the river to the other, from Revin in France to Liège in Belgium. The monster is the size of a calf but has the shape of a lizard. Only exceptionally does the Mahuot leave the water. His appearance on earth is a harbinger of devastation, of death, blood, imminent war, or plagues. The Mahuot also leaves the Meuse when he hears angry mothers rant against their disobedient children. Whether the monster devoured many children, we do not know," says Meirac. But it was every toddler's fright, especially when the mother threatened, "There is the Mahuot. If you don't shut up right away, I'll feed you to him." The threat is still in effect, according to Meirac, who believes he saw the animal himself on a summer night in 1870, somewhere between Revin and Givet. Downstream, here in Limburg, another version of the Mahuot lives. The so-called waterman lives on the beds of rivers, streams and canals. He drags playing children or bathing swimmers to the depths with his hook. You can recognize him by his green eyes and yellow webbed feet. He is an old man with a tough beard of aquatic plants and a red cap or green hat on his wild head of hair. Hungry, he sucks the blood from his victims and imprisons their souls in upturned jars. The drowned can only be saved if someone knocks over the jar. Awaiting their rescue, the waterman makes the lost souls spin flax for eternity.
Now, close your eyes again and listen to everything around you. Are there any forms of life trying to send you a message from under the water? Can you hear the mawot, the waterman? A pristine natural site? An imposition of human management? A technical space for trade? A legal space for extraction? Can you hear the heavy metals running through these polluted waters? Who holds the right to exploit or to protect this watery ecosystem?
The language for time is the same as the language for space. You can stand in it like in a landscape, designate moments as places. Here, time runs in the same direction as a sentence. On the left is the past, the present in front of you, the future to your right. In some languages, words are written from top to bottom. There, time passes in a vertical line. Above your head is the past, while the future comes rolling like a wave, flowing over your feet. I search my hands. I search in my hands for my body in my hands the wave.
Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Open your eyes. Clean your face and hands with the Mosas waters. Dip your hands on the riverbed and grab something. A stone, trash, sand. Walk out of the river with it. Bring it to the piece of cloth nearest to you. Walk over it.
I can see what's there by bringing thoughts to the surface. Whose is the water? The beginning begins. I shape a sentence out of my mouth. The sentence shapes me. A sentence like the liquid song of the thrush, the wave language of the bird's wings above, The worm draws winding tunnels like question marks through the soil.
The future of water will be to break down the walls that contain it, to overflow the spouts of cities and hydroelectric dams, and to humidify the wetlands withered by reason. Put your shoes back on. Find a comfortable place to sit down on the piece of cloth. Don't take your headphones off just yet. Now, get ready for a geological ride to 600 million years ago, when the story of the Maas starts.
There is still no trace of the Maas, but 3 mountain formations have taken place since this period: the Caledonian, Hercynian and Alpine. The formation of mountains is an unprecedented natural drama in which gravity, volcanism and plate tectonics are the main protagonists. The lashes of wind, ice and water force mighty mountains to their knees. Seas come and go on the stage, under the compulsive direction of the capricious crust of the earth. Some 25 million years ago, during the Alpine orogeny, the African tectonic plate collided with the Eurasian tectonic plate. At the same time, there was a mantle plume under the Eifel, a liquid volcanic mass that is so hot that it wants to rise and pushes the earth up in doing so. Due to the tectonic movement and the mantle plume, the sea covering the Ardennes partially recedes and the plateau of the Ardennes and Eifel is lifted. On the plain that has been exposed by the Alpine mountain formation, the first rivers arise. Here the Maas enters the scene, humble and sober. Because at a certain point in the Miocene, water comes up where now the first source in the northeast of France is located. Water that has first infiltrated the ground and can no longer escape into the underground, creeps back up towards the light and a new beginning. Once above ground, the water, surrendering itself to gravity, flows downwards. Depending on how soft the subsoil is and the speed of the current, water excavates a stream through erosion. The Maas consisted of several parts that were not yet connected to each other. All the different rivers that now make up the catchment area of the Maas have found each other over the course of time through a process of supply and drainage. Through erosion, a river can eat its way through the watershed, the border of the catchment area, and into the valley of a neighboring river. The river then changes direction and joins the adjoining river. In other words, the creation of the Maas basin as we know it today is like an ingeniously set up field of dominoes falling in slow motion.
We now invite you to become a river, together. We will become water, stones, soil, fish, farmers and ships and dams, gravity, oxygen, temperature, rain, the moon and the sun. Choose a card to become one of these rivers entities. Now please take off your earphones.